Okay. Lagos, yes, it's time for Smooth Health, which is your weekly dose of clarity, calm, and real conversation around living your healthiest life, especially right now. And today we're going to go straight to the core, which is your gut. We're going to be understanding, what your gut is telling you. So I know you've probably heard a lot of buzz around your gut health most recently. And sometimes you even hear, oh, okay, you need to have probiotics. You need to also up your gluten. You have all that going, making the rounds. But really, how much of that is fact? And how much is just fermented fiction? And I say fermented because, yeah, some things just sound off. But the real question that we'll be getting in today and trying to understand is the kind of what are the kinds of things that you should be having, especially when for all of us that work a lot, we'll just be going straight to our fridge as you're strolling past. Is that something that you should be? Is there something inside that is going to be of interest to you? And is it working for you? Or are you actually going in just because you're hungry? Are you really hungry? All these questions and more are what we'll be talking about today. And my guest this evening is Ngozi Okoye. She is a nutrition consultant, and I appreciate the fact that she's making out her time to be here to, well, she's joining me virtually, but here nonetheless to help us understand better what our gut health is telling us. Good to have you with me, Ngozi.
Thank you. Thank you, Joy. Thank you. It's good to be here. Thanks for the opportunity as well. Yeah.
Thank you as well for making yourself available. And Lagos, don't think you're left behind. No, you as well get to come through. You have questions about your gut health you want to ask? Have you also experienced certain things you want to share? Well, the platform you can do that is on WhatsApp. The number is 0809 4440981. And I'm not a nutritionist. So Ngozi will be here to address all the questions you might have and debunk all those myths that you've also heard. So you know what? Let's even dive into it. As I like to say, let's start from the top. Okay, let me also let you know that you can actually go on YouTube as well. Yes, we are on YouTube. You can view or ask your questions on YouTube as well. We are at youtube.com/smooth 981 FM Lagos, and I will definitely take your questions there as well. All right, let's start from the top. Like I said, what exactly is or why is gut health such a big deal these days? And what does it even actually mean to have a healthy gut? Let's even start from there.
First and foremost, having a healthy gut means you have a healthy dose of bacteria. That's we have what we call the microbiome. This bacteria are responsible for maintaining your gut health, and your gut health is a big deal because your gut is connected to everything. Your immunity, not just your digestion, it goes beyond you being able to poop every day. It's sorry, excuse my English, but I
No,
have to
it's
go down the
actually
way that
true.
everybody will understand. It goes beyond
Mm-hmm.
being able to open your bowels every day. It's about your digestion, your immunity, your
Right.
your brain health, your mood, your hormones, even down to your skin. Everything is related to your gut health because I also double as an esthetician. So I also deal with people on that aspect. So your
Okay.
gut plays an integral role in all of this. So when your gut is having an issue, when it's imbalanced, you're finding out nutrition, your nutrients are not properly absorbed, your digestion is poor, you might not poop regularly. There's what we call the leaky gut. Some people have a leaky gut.
Okay.
And essentially, what makes this happen a community of what we call friendly bacteria in your gut. That is
Okay.
what gut is made of. And when you said something about probiotics before we started the call, probiotics is introducing this life culture back, because sometimes we do things that destroys this culture or causes a disbalance. Like when you take
Oh.
antibiotics, it kills
Mm.
everything. It doesn't just kill the bad bacteria, it also kills the good bacteria. So when this
Mm.
happens, you have to reintroduce the
To have
gut
a balance, whoops,
back.
somewhat.
Yeah, and that's where the probiotics come. And it's not just yogurt, but we still delve into that. Yeah.
Yes, it's not just the regular yogurt that you know. There
Yeah.
are other things that you need to also amp up to help with your probiotics or your health in general. But
Yeah.
thank you so much for breaking that down. But you know what? I actually have heard this. I don't know how true it is, but some people call the gut the second brain. Is there any actual science behind it, or it's just as they say, wellness catchphrases that are making the rounds right now?
It's not actually false. It's actually true. It's been termed,
Ah,
because if you remember, I mentioned brain health,
right, right.
immunity, hormones, your mood. You have the neurotransmitters which are responsible for your mood. Serotonin is
Mhm.
produced in the gut. GABA is produced in the gut. Dopamine is
Okay.
produced in the gut.
You don't say.
When it comes to immunity, your B cells are produced in the gut. So it's the second brain, and there's what we call an axis. So there's a connection. Your
Okay.
gut, like that phrase where you said, my gut is telling me something, it's actually telling you something. If something is wrong, it's giving you a hint. So it is your second brain, and there's nothing false about that. It's not just something that I just said to throw to just create stir up a conversation. It's actually
Right.
true. The gut is your second brain because it holds things together. It's like the missing piece of the puzzle connecting everything together. Yes.
Hmm.
Let me say it in layman's terms. Yes.
Tally is asking, what exactly is the gut? Please come back and help Tally understand, because maybe Tally didn't join us from when we started.
Mm.
Help Tally understand what gut is.
The gut is where you have the friendly community of bacteria, good bacteria that
Mm-hmm.
help your body in terms of digestion, immunity, your nervous system, production of neurotransmitters that helps somewhat support your mood, helps you poop regularly. And you also have we have what we call the enteric nervous system that with over
Okay.
100 nerve cells, and it talks to your brain via the gut brain axis. We have a gut brain axis, and you have neurons that have conversations. It's
Hey.
transmitting communications when you need to produce more. The gut is this bacteria that you have is what we call the gut microbiome, and this is what makes up your gut. And that's why when there's a destabilization, where there is an improportion, you find out
Mm-hmm.
people having a lot of issues. It even shows up in your skin. We have issues where people, like if you go to a doctor, a dermatologist, or an esthetician, and if you're having a lot of breakouts, one of the things they want to question is how your diet has been, trying to find out if you've done anything that could have negatively impacted your gut health. So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. I think to make it easier, it's around the stomach.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah. So Tally, I hope you get that. It's within your stomach walls, uh, transcends into your intestines and all that. Well, I like you to because
It's
I
not
hope I'm
just
not
it's not just your stomach, it's your
okay.
whole digestive tract.
Exactly.
Because essentially if you want to talk about digestion starts
Mhm.
from the mouth. So we're starting
Right,
from the
right.
mouth down to where it is excreted. So
Right.
digestion starts in the mouth, you have the esophagus. So it's not just, I won't just say one organ.
It's what, yes.
No, no, it's the
It's the
whole.
whole
Yeah.
digestive system. All
Yeah.
right. Now that is clear, now I think we should start talking about the good health. or the good bacteria rather, because you've spoken about it a bit. How do we know if our gut is balanced? And also, I know you've spoken about how certain things can throw it off, like the antibiotics. Some people binge on, and I say binge on because any small ailment, they're running to the pharmacy and getting antibiotics because they self-medication, which is usually preached against. But no, some people don't have, they don't like to listen. They have coconut head and would rather just do what they think is right. So, how do we know if our gut is balanced?
Um, there's different ways in which you can know that your gut is balanced, but regular bowel movement, that's when you open your bowels, is a
Okay.
very good sign. Um,
Okay.
minimal bloating,
Ah,
yes. You have good energy, your energy is up and going, and your skin is clear.
your
And
skin is skinning.
yeah, but that's still subjective because still
Ah,
every it's
okay. Okay.
interconnected, and then you have a strong immunity. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So that
So
these are the
that
factors I can state, but the most important, your regular bowel movements speaks of a good gut health. Yes.
Okay. I'm glad that you spoke about bloating because some people usually refer to it as a red flag and say, oh, okay, once I'm bloating, I need to, there's something wrong. So is that really a red flag, or is that just part of the digestive system and, trying to balance itself out?
Now, when it comes to bloating, if we want to term it, we can't just term every bloating that happens to you as a red flag because there are different things that comes with bloating. Sometimes if
Okay.
you eat beans or
Ah,
a dish that is very high in fiber, it can cause bloating
right,
because the food is made up of what we call oligosaccharides that are taking their time to break down, and as this happens, it can cause
right.
slow gastric emptying and all that.
Okay.
So people can experience bloating. But when it becomes a red flag is when it's constant, painful, like it's
Mm,
persistent, comes
mm.
excessive constipation with gas, diarrhea.
Okay.
Sometimes some people it comes with diarrhea because sometimes you can actually be experiencing constipation, but you're even still using the toilet. It's just that's why don't be afraid to look at your sorry to say, look at your poo because
No, yes.
it
It
tells you
tells you a
what is
lot about
happening.
what's
Yes.
happening about you around you. Yeah.
Exactly. It tells you what's happening in your body. So that is when it becomes a red flag. But you can have bloating. Like for women, some women when they're undergoing their ovulation, like that day they're ovulating, some women are usually very bloated. It just looks
Bloated.
like they're pregnant. That is
Mm.
normal. But I won't call that a red flag. It's just a sign of a hormonal change in your body.
Okay.
Estrogen is trying to give way to progesterone. That is a normal thing for some people. Not all women experience bloating, but some people do. But it's when it becomes something consistently persistent. You're coming with pain. You're constipated. You can't use the toilet. That's
Mm-hmm.
when you have to go in and see a doctor, preferably a GI doctor if you have anyone close to you. But start with a general medical practitioner for a start, and then you can take it up from there.
Mm. I like where you've put that in because it's not enough for you to just hear something and just run with it. Ask questions. If you know you're uncomfortable, always go to your primary health giver and they will take care of you.
Yeah.
Don't go buying medication just because you think you know what is wrong with you. And I've heard certain people, they'll say, oh, okay, it always happens to me so and so time. So don't worry, I know what to take. Don't be doing that. That is even making your situation worse. You want to actually go see your physician and let them be the ones to recommend what's best for you.
Exactly.
Stop taking medication just because. But let's take our first breather for the evening and we'll come
All right.
back and take more conversations and talking about um the good health trends. There are certain things that people do right now. There are some that swear by um taking ACV, that is apple cider vinegar, the other quick fixes and the likes, but we'll get into all that conversation on the other side of this quick breather. Lagos, don't go nowhere. I see some of your questions. I'll be definitely here to share them with Ngozi, and she will share her thoughts on them as well. As always, you're tuned in to Smooth 98.1.
Yeah.
This is Smooth Health on the Drive. There's a very quick, it's just under a minute and we'll be back in.
No worries.
Again, starting 11th to 30th of April 2025. Buy a TCL 65-inch mini QLED TV. Get a TCL 55-inch free. Buy a Samsung 83-inch OLED TV. Get a Samsung 98-inch free. Buy a Royal side-by-side refrigerator. Get a microwave free. Buy a Penrose air conditioner. Get a Royal Mist fan free. And lots more. Visit the Sims Digital Center at Kathy Street, Alausa, Allen, Ikeja City Mall, Omole, Oba, Apple Junction, Aguda, Surulere, Victoria Island, and Aja. For inquiries, call 07000-3074.
Oh, I have a question here, but
Yeah.
I'll take it when we go back in. But he's talking about well, he says he has issues with his throat whenever he takes alcohol or spirits. So he's confused. Is it that is it that this alcohol or spirits are fake, or is it that something is happening within his throat that is not letting it sit where it's supposed to? Well, anyways, we'll take that. Yes, we want to be able to enjoy our alcohol and not have that burning sensation. We want to enjoy it, and I'm not saying
The thing is with the alcohol, like I don't drink alcohol, but I know that people who take vodka or spirits, when you first take it, I think they said it comes with a burning sensation, and that's not a factor of diet. That's something that is a brand thing. So that's beyond my scope of practice. He should not drink alcohol. Maybe it's not meant for him.
Right? we shouldn't get carried away with the things. Could just not be working for us. But yeah, we'll talk about it when we get back in. All right, Lagos. It is 33 minutes compass 5, and you're tuned in to Smooth Health here on Smooth 98.1. And today we are talking about your gut health, all the interesting things you need to know about it. And my guest this evening, who's shedding more light and explaining certain things, especially for those who usually like fads and swear by certain things. You need to be here to understand what works for your gut health and if you're doing things right. Well, my guest is Ngozi Okoye. She is a nutrition consultant and sharing expertise, knowledge around that. Yeah, the things you put in your mouth, they have definitely have their effects. Before I get back into the conversation proper, I have a question here that Otuba Yemigiwa needs answering. Well, he says he has issues with alcohol or spirits when he takes them because it's either there'll be an itchy sensation or general disturbance all through. So should he be concerned about the alcohol itself, or could that be something his body's telling him, maybe telling him to avoid it in totality?
Well, when it comes to that, it could be, unless if you have a maybe a sore in your digestive tract that could, because it's, when you take spirits in the past, we even see it in movies. If there's no antiseptic around there, they pour spirits.
Yes.
So that might be what the effect you're experiencing. I don't know, because I don't deal in alcohol. But I would say, that if that is the specific, it might be a brand thing too as well. It might be that the concentration is too high. In terms of whether it's fake or not, I can't speak to that, because that is something that SAN and NAFDAC should find out and look into. But that being said, it could also be that your body is not agreeing with alcohol, so you might want to just drop it.
Check it out.
Yeah.
That's my Yamigiwa. Yeah, that's it. I hate that answers it. And if you have further questions, well, we're here. We're here. And like I said, we're learning.
Mm.
But now let's get back to the conversation and talk about our gut health. There are usually so many fads out there, and quick fixes. Sometimes they just tell you, all you need to do is sip this and it will clear out your gut health. It will make you better, feel good, and all that. Are these true, or are they just myths, or people just selling things so people can buy?
Um, First and foremost, I know what for your gut health, a lot of things that are circulating right now. We have the gummies, ACV gummies, and we have the probiotics. I need us to understand that if you have IBS, which um the probiotics, usually doctors would prescribe a specific probiotics with the particular strain you need,
Mhm.
because it's not just they just write probiotics in quotes, but do you actually know what you're buying? Do you know the strain you're buying? Another thing with ACV, it's been found out that these ACV gummies, they don't actually the acetic acid that you are trying to get from the ACV is not
It's not enough.
it's not enough. It's not meeting up with it. And most ACV gummies are loaded with added sugars as well. That is why people tend to do it.
Right.
So, and in the long run, at the same time, they're all marketing gimmicks. I'm sorry to say, but I'm just going to say it for what it is. And it's why don't you just get it from your food? I'm someone that will always stand for, if you can spend a lot of money on getting all these things, gummies, probiotics, you can actually afford to get them from your food. You can, because my problem with most gummies is, like, I feel like they are like, not I feel most times when you read the ingredients, it just
Mm-hmm.
like a glorified candy, and they just pop up some names there, big
And
names,
make it sound nice.
and make it sound nice. But then for the probiotics, not all probiotic strains are equal. Some strains help with digestion, others help with immunity, others help with gut inflammation. So what is your issue that you feel you need, you that the probiotics you're getting from food is not enough, that you have to go for a probiotic supplement? You
Okay.
have That is where a general practitioner comes in, and that's why I have a problem with people just going about taking things without having understanding and proper guide. Because you just
Right.
pick up a probiotic supplement, you are just reading a lot of things on it, but you don't even understand what is on it,
What do you mean?
what it means. So that is why I'm going to always preach, get it from your food. And the good thing with probiotics, this gut microbiome, they also actually have to eat. You're introducing probiotics, bacteria into your gut, but they also
Mm-hmm.
need something to feed on. And that's where
Oh,
prebiotics come into place, your fiber. So it's not just about
make
taking.
it make sense. Stop just popping
Yes.
pills or supplements. Your food is actually there for you to use as that supplement you need. And talking about that, I know that we've heard that gluten and dairy can be bad for gut health. However, is this true for everyone or only people with intolerance?
First and foremost, a gluten intolerance or lactose intolerance, like people who have gluten intolerance are people that we call that have celiac disease. And
Okay.
then for some people that have irritable bowel syndrome, IBS or SIBO, they tend to have a gluten sensitivity. And there are other people that have gluten sensitivity. Those are the people that
Okay.
should avoid gluten. But if you do not have any of this, I see no reason why you should avoid gluten. Gluten itself also provides your body with nutrients as well. So it's not bad. It's only dangerous for people who have a sensitivity or intolerance to it. Same goes for lactose. People who have lactose intolerance, they tend to, whenever they take something with lactose inside, you see a digestive discomfort. Some people, it
Oh,
blows out
yes.
to excessive diarrhea and pain. So why would you want to put yourself through that? There are other alternatives that you can take, because the issue with cutting out dairy is dairy provides you with vitamin D, provides you with other nutrients, that calcium that you need. So if you
Mm-hmm.
cut out dairy, you can also get it. You can, because of lactose intolerance, you can take alternative milk. We have soy milk, we have almond, we have tiger nut milk. These
Oh,
are
yes.
all alternatives to dairy because the person has lactose intolerance. But if you don't have any of this, you have no reason to cut this out. You're
Okay.
good. Yeah, because it's not just about the lactose, it's also providing you a good source of protein. You're also getting other minerals and
From
uh,
it as well.
from it. So why you shouldn't cut them out unless you have a reason to. Yeah.
Thank you so much for clearing that out because I've heard so many interesting things. Oh, you need to cut this out. You need to cut that out if you need to improve on your gut health. And yeah, talking about improving on our gut health, it's time to get practical.
Yeah.
What role really does fiber actually play in this? Because it's one thing to okay, yes, I've heard I need more fiber. How do we even know if we're getting the right kind of fiber for us? Because I didn't know that there were different strains when it comes to the probiotics that we need in our body. But now that I know, it now makes me question the fiber as well. What should we be doing? How should we be getting it? What exactly, or which type is best for a person, maybe an adult, a child? How do we even figure it out?
Okay, when it comes to fiber, yeah, don't I know it's sometimes a lot of people peddle it all around the social media. Oh, we need this kind. No, fiber is fiber, but even in that fiber, we have the soluble and insoluble fiber. But when you're eating a food that is rich in fiber, you're getting the two most times.
Okay.
Even though during processing, sometimes we tend to do away with one.
Yeah.
But that being said, fiber is still important. Like for women, need like from 25 grams per day, and men
Okay.
38 grams per day. So fiber, like I mentioned before, fiber feeds your guts. It feeds. That's what your fiber is, the source of prebiotics. That's what your probiotics feed on. At the same time, when your gut bacteria feeds on it, it allows it to ferment this fiber, and when it produces what we call short chain fatty acids that help to
Okay.
reduce inflammation and nourish your gut lining. So it helps with constipation.
Okay.
That's why when you hear, oh, I'm constipated, somebody will be asking you, try and take something with fiber. Eat orange or take pineapple, sources of fiber, so that your gut can feed on it and then help to produce this short chain fatty acids that will help with your reducing inflammation and also helping with constipation. So we get fiber from our whole grains, and that's why we always iterate on that. Whole grains, we get it from our legumes, our beans, okpa, akidi, all kinds of legumes. We get it from soybean as well. We get it from our pulses. We get them from peas. We get from. That's why we always say don't cut out carbohydrate, because fiber is carbohydrate. It's just a complex form of carbohydrate. Carbohydrates are divided into simple. We have the monosaccharides, disaccharides, and then the complex polysaccharides. And fiber is a complex carb. That's why it helps you to, when you eat it, foods that are rich in fiber, you don't get hungry that fast. You're fuller for a longer period of time, and it also helps to add bulk to your stool, thereby aiding with digestion. And then for women, hormonally general, when you eat foods that are rich in fiber, it helps to attach itself to circulating hormones. That there's a chain. I don't want to go into the biochemistry of it, but for women, it helps with estrogen detoxification. So if you a woman who they tell you that, oh, you have fibroids, which is as a result of estrogen dominance, it's always asked, oh, try to improve your fiber intake. When you do, it helps with estrogen detoxification. And when there's estrogen detoxification, you have what we call the sex hormone binding globulins. These are what attaches to itself to produce more hormones that your body actually needs at that time. And if you don't have the excess hormones be removed, it will not tell it to produce it at the same time. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
I know, I do get it.
So fiber plays a huge role in all of this. And unfortunately, the world that we are going into, a lot of people, there's so much focus on protein and people are ignoring fiber. I know processing of foods was done to be able to increase shelf life of foods, because we are living in a time where we have famine, we have wars here and there. So
Right.
that accessibility to fresh foods
Was
or having time to cook foods like that might not be there. So that's where you tend to see a lot of processed foods all around. But in a normal world where we are, you go to work every day, you should actually find a way to have fiber. And one of the easiest ways to get fiber from fruits and vegetables.
right.
Fruits and vegetables, that's easiest way. That's why we always advise people for every meal, you try to have a fruit and a vegetable with it. If you're going to have eggs in the morning, just put in cabbage or carrot in there, bell peppers, put them
Right.
aside. You understand? If you're having your lunch, have your soups, your sauces with vegetables in there. If you're going to eat rice, don't just eat it alone. Try to mix it with beans or add some coleslaw on the side, carrots, lettuce, all these things that you can, even ugu, you can stir fry it and put it with your food, and you're good to go. And there are other seeds as well that are also good, that contain fiber. Avocado contains fiber. Yam is a good source of fiber. Now, our Nigerian food,
Fufu.
fufu is a good source of probiotics.
So stop running away from your fufu. It works for you.
The only issue I
Just
know is
in
that,
my in moderation.
moderation, because we Nigerians, we are elaborate eaters. It comes from a place where our food systems and how we are taught to eat. When you don't eat well, your parents will be shouting, you don't look like as if they are feeding you. We have been bred to eat in a particular way. And if we want to be
Right.
honest with ourselves, the kind of work we do, the lifestyle we live is not compared to our parents. Our parents, people used to farm. But
Right.
how many of us are farmers? A lot of people, after COVID, a lot of people have gone into remote work. You sit down
True.
from morning till night. So you
True.
can't expect that you eat the same portions as those people that go to the farm ate. No, it can't work, because we have a lot of people with adding weight, obesity, and that's
Oh
another
yes.
talk for another day.
Oh
But
my
we have
word.
got health today.
So much to talk about and so little time. Oh my word. Like literally, time has run out for us to keep
I
going on. And there's so much to actually still highlight. But before I let you go, in a minute or two, well, in a minute, because if I push it to two, we can keep talking about it. What place does or because I see a lot of people do powders, they do yogurts, peels, and the likes. What place do those things play when it comes to focusing on their gut health food wise?
Or do you mean powders like protein powders?
Yes.
What people need to understand, protein powders were created to help what we call, like,
Bulk.
to help people, not just to bulk, for
Okay.
ease. If you
Oh,
like, it's to add to something. Protein powder is a supplement itself.
okay.
If you're not getting enough protein in your
That's
diet,
when you need it.
to add to just to help you, and it shouldn't just be done carelessly. You need a certified health professional that will help guide, in fact, a certified nutrition expert that will help guide you on how to add this, incorporate this in your daily routine. So those powders are supplements. You can still get your protein intake with normal food. They're expensive. You don't need protein powders. It's only okay for me personally. I use protein powders for two reasons. Number one, I'm always on the go. I'm somebody that doesn't really have the time to sit down and eat
And
because of the kind of job I do. So I need
right.
something that I can easily just chalk up, and I make sure that whatever I'm drinking is concentrated to suit me. I'm a woman. I need protein. I need healthy fats in the morning so that I don't
Right.
drain out on energy. So that's
Okay.
what the protein powder is doing for me. And I
But
can
doesn't mean that you still not eat
I
some
don't know.
within
Yes.
the day.
Yeah, and even
Right.
at that, I don't take it every day, because it's when, like, I'm on the go. I just add it to my yogurt to just increase the protein content of my meal, mixed up with other
Right.
things. And then for you asked for something, you said there was something else. You said pills.
Pills, yes.
Okay, you mean the pills? What kind of pills? Is it weight loss?
See, like I said, if we continue on this path, we will not
It's
end this
weight
conversation
loss
today.
pills. Huh. I
Hmm.
don't want us to start on that, because the only thing I'm going to say is, right,
Yes, please.
Most of the weight loss pills that are being circulated today, either there's no proper disclosure of the ingredients that it contains, and secondly, most of them contain laxatives that just make you use the toilet a lot. And that is not what makes you lose fat. It's just making you lose water weight. And that is not sustainable because you just be dehydrated.
Okay. Breathe. Lagos, not to worry. I will get Ngozi to come back and share more insights. Maybe not on this particular topic. She's unearthed certain other interesting conversations that we can talk about. So, but in the meantime, how can listeners, who have questions, want to reach out to you? Maybe some of them are shy. They don't want to ask those questions on air because they don't want to be outed. So, how can I reach out to you on your social media handles?
They can reach out to me on the fit nutritionist _nutritionist, or you can reach me on Twitter at ng_Danielle. I don't know if there's a way you can type it out, but
how do you spell your NG? Is it just NG?
NGEE.
Oh, okay.
Yes. _Danielle. DANIELLE. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. And Lagos, like I said, it's an ongoing conversation. It doesn't stop here. Yes, we run out of time for Smooth Health today, but best believe next week it's going to be another interesting conversation. And please take care of your gut health. Ask your doctors the right questions, and they will help you take care of your body. Don't do anything I wouldn't do when it comes to your health. But on the other side, with more conversations, more music to help you journey along, it's a Thursday, so throwbacks coming your way.
Every Thursday.
Alrighty.
Thank
Interesting conversation we've had, and I wish we could just keep going on and on and on. But yeah, time is not my friend.
I know.